Yo, what's good, William? I hate that I gotta call you by your government. All right, man. How y'all been, man? It's only three people up in here right now. It's all good though. I can show y'all these beats on an upcoming beat tape. I got a few more to master. So the ones with the green dots, green and yellow dots, I already mastered them, and they pretty much done. Except for the yellow ones, they need a little bit more work. And then the ones without dots, pretty much not mastered. But it's good enough to release. But I still want to master them all before I release. So I'll probably finish that up tomorrow. It's not that hard. But yeah, man. Let me see. I think you already heard. You already heard "Looking Sideways." I don't think I got that many new ones. But we is about to make one today, so hopefully it can make it. This one of them right here. Yeah, yeah. A little sneak peek though. I can't show the whole beat, but yeah, man. I still want to work on that one actually. I feel like the ending could use some work. But yeah, just a little beat. I named that one Staggered because I feel like the rhythm was really staggered. Appreciate that, yo, y'all. Appreciate that. But yeah, man. Let's get into this cook up. See what we can cook up. I want to use a kick from my Cymbal Pack Nostalgy. They got a lot of low end. I do have a particular favorite though. Use that one. And then for a snare, got this new pack the other day. Got this kick sound. Let's see. Yes, sir. Actually, let's double up on that kick for the ghost notes. Nostalgy. See if I find a different one. Bro, these cars, man. Yeah, I like Tom's Burger. Use that again. All right. Let's get the hi hat. Make this full string. Yep. All right. Let's see what we got. It's cool. It's cool. Let's get another hi hat. We're gonna get a little crazy with the hats. Appreciate that, Uno. Push this one out for that one. Yep. I want to get like a, ooh, like that one. All right, I want to get like a ride cymbal. Gotta get all the one shots first, you know. All right. And then let's get an open hi-hat and we straight. See what this is. See. We could just use that. All right, now let's get a pattern. Hey, what's good, Blaze? Actually, let me see. I didn't even show you guys the sample yet. Let's try to raise the pitch by 3 to avoid them copyright robots. And let's lower the BPM because for some reason I always set it to 164. All right, that's enough. I feel like the copyright robot's probably gonna trip off of that one. High pitch, I'm not feeling it. Let me try one pitch down. Cool, it's cool, it's cool. I don't know how I got that, but we're gonna use it. All right, right here. Loop that up, loop it up. Then we can get a pattern, drum pattern. I usually don't collab. Like, it's not like a choice that I don't collab. It's just, you know, I don't really be hitting people up like that. The homie Chalk Villa though, a friend of mine that I've known for a while. We probably about to do a collab tape, um, sometime in the future. You know, I still got a lot of stuff planned out for the next month and so forth. But this year we gonna have a collab tape, so you'll hear me collaborating with somebody else. But yeah, I'm down to collab. You know, I'm down to see what I can make with somebody else and share our fan bases and all that. You know, it's work. But what's good? Peace. All right, we can use that. Damn, that yo, these notes is like way off the grid. I'm gonna need the metronome. Messed it up. Trying to fix the swing up. Let me see. No doubt. Just wanted to ask because I play keys and been making beats for almost 20 years and have always liked the music. So this is caught one of your streams live. So, hey man, yeah, I'm down. Send over some keys. I can flip them up or throw some drums down, or I can add some chords over it, some solos. I'm down. You know. But let's get these hi hats right because they not swinging at all. Oops. All right, sounding right. Messed up the last part, but let me see how it sounds with the sample. Nah, I feel like with the metronome, it don't sound right. I feel like the rhythm just don't. Maybe I need to warp the sample. Honestly, I think I can make something doper though if I just play the keys. I haven't really been in the mood to sample, but that sample is fire. Alright, we'll do something like that. Basic pattern. Hope it can loop up. Let's see. It's cool. Let me get some chords now. Still got to warm up too. Alright, I'm warmed up. Let me get a cymbal too. That major one. That progression, let me see. I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about, but I think I might know. Is it this one? Or was it the So usually what I do for the chords, if I'm gonna put y'all on game, some of y'all probably already know this, but sus chords. I just use sus chords. Recently I just discovered, like a few days ago, for neo soul chords, when they be having those super fat chords, um, or that second one. So yeah, this one is a C major. This is like definitely a C major going to a B flat 13 sus. Here's the B flat, and then I just play a flat major 7, makes it a B flat 13 sus, and then go back to C major, and then we can go down by what is this? Major third. So we was at B flat 13 sus. Now we're at G flat 13 sus. And we could do some nice chromatic increase by a whole step. Yeah, man, butter. I kind of made Made that up on a spot just now. Just playing with the major thirds and the whole steps. That's really all it is the intervals and like the actual progressions be like 251, 736, all that stuff, or 763 is the right way. Those are just like fill in the gaps. So I can throw in a 251 and then go back to that C. 251. So I actually learned how to play the keys a lot from just messing around on the keyboard, watching YouTube videos, learning what the chords, learning what chords I was playing and stuff. Like I knew the basics of major and minor. What's this? Yeah, major and minor, but I didn't really know how to use it or how to make it sound saucy and all that stuff. But yeah, just messing around, playing on the keyboard, learning stuff, and just being really consistent and staying on it. I've been doing this for a very long time. So after a while, it's like I ain't got no choice but to just learn it, and get good at it. Same on God, you don't need to go to Berkeley or nothing, the music school of Berkeley or nothing like that to learn how to play the keys. You just gotta have a passion for the instrument. Let me see. I want to do like a 2-5. Yeah, I don't know. We can do that. Let me get the bass line. Yeah, that's cool. I'm feeling it. Version to here. Like now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that bass right. I'm gonna get the sound. But yeah, man, it's like Felix, all you gotta do is work on one thing at a time. That's kind of like that's how I work the best. One week I might practice in my diminished scales, and then the next week I might be practicing major third movements and stuff like that. So it's like I rock the best when I'm just practicing one thing at a time, not really trying to focus on three things in one day. But that's just me. I don't know. I'm not. I feel like that bass ain't rocking. Let me get the operator back. Man, I don't even know how to freaking use this mouse. And then let's go to the oscillator. Something like that. That's better. So yeah, this bass line, I'm gonna need to make this like a longer bass line, so I don't want it to be too repetitive. Yeah, that sounds. I messed up. Uh, I think I'm gonna get like a compensant for that bass line. I think I'm gonna do um like double up on the bass line, so that'll be like the sub bass. Then I'll have like a bass that's has a little bit more harmonics, dancing around with the chromaticism and all that stuff. Here it is. See what I got in here though. Loud. I think think after I get a synth, I'm gonna do some processing. Hold on, I gotta figure out that scale. Yeah, I don't think I got the right scale. It's cool. I'm gonna add some I can't find that LFO though for some reason. Oh no, it's cool. I'm gonna do some processing. We're gonna start with the kick first. I'm gonna add some compression, some EQ. I've been wanting to make a video on drum processing as well, but it's like I keep learning new techniques, and it's like I don't know what to show y'all. So like, I remember I said I was gonna do one a week or two ago, and like now it's like I got a whole new system I've been doing since I've been mastering these beats. I kind of found a few things that I like to do better when it comes to certain sounds. I'm just trying to, pick and choose what I want to tell y'all because I don't want to regret not telling y'all something. So let's see what we can do with this. Peculiar shape for the EQ, but it gets the job done. This is how I get those like really subby kick drums. And then I'm gonna add this compressor, this glue compressor. Where is it at? Put it at like attack at like 10. And then release can be like 8.8. I want the threshold to hit like around in between 5 and 10 decibels. And then I just gotta gain stage it. That should be cool. And then I'm gonna just play with the dry wet, see what the result is. Yeah, somewhere like around 70. But I believe, yeah, just EQ. So we got a gain stage just EQ because it's the EQ is making the kick drum louder since I'm raising all this bass. All right. That should be cool. So this is dry, wet, or processed. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing for the kicks. And then for the snare, similar process. I like to put the compressors first because I feel like when I compress everything and then I pick and choose what I want to EQ, I get a cleaner sound, at least for my taste. And then for the snare, I'm gonna do like 0.3 attack. We don't want it to be too snappy. Release can stay right there. And we're gonna hit like around 5 decibels on the threshold. Or on the meter, I should say. Gain stage it. All right, that should be cool. And then get the EQ. And since we don't want this to have any bass, we're gonna take that bass out like around 150. 150 and above. That's cool. I appreciate that, fam. Yeah, let me see. Got a back. It got a back design too. I forgot what it say, but yeah, the homies at Serato blessed me. All right, sounding cool so far. Hi-hats. These hi-hats are gonna be a problem because I got a lot of them. So I'm gonna just do like a generic EQ for the hi-hats. And then for the compression, I'm gonna do a glue compressor. And right there. Sound a lot better in my opinion. But after I get all the one shots sounding right, I also like to get a drum bus. Let me get that drum bus. Where is it at? And then this is how I use the drum bus. So usually I start from the bottom corner, left corner, and work my way up. And just keep working my way up until every section sounds good. And I put that on the outside of the drum rack because that's technically the drum bus where all the sounds meet up. And yeah. So I start with the compressor. I turn the compression on and affect the trim level. Kind of like gain staging it. There we go. right, so we affected the drives. We're not gonna mess with the trim right now, but we are gonna affect the transients. Pull the transients down, the sounds get shorter. Put it up, they get longer. Actually, let me turn the trim down just a little bit. Let me see, that cymbal has like something hurting my right ear. That's better. All right, now let's go ahead and I'm gonna turn the boom. I forgot what this is called. I think audition mode. I'm gonna turn that on so I can hear the bass, and I want to match the frequency with the kick drum. And turn down the decay to like an appropriate kick drum. Turn the boom down. Now your kick hitting way harder. And now let's go ahead and gain stage the whole effect using the output. You see how much quieter it is, so we gotta put it down. And that sounds about appropriate. It's the same volume. Now we can play with the dry wet and choose how much of that effect we want to add to the whole drum bus. Do like 89%. Let's go ahead and turn these drums up though on the main channel. Alright, let's see. Now the drums sound super good and the Rhodes sound plain and it's tacky, so we gotta add some compression to those too. I'm not gonna affect these. I'm gonna just go ahead and get this plugin I got. LA2A. And this is like a slow compressor, so it's good for keys. And then let's go ahead and sidechain them, and that's gonna like tie them together. Sidechain these Rhodes. Now we gotta do the same. We gotta do the same to the bass now. So I'm gonna just mute these. And we're gonna go ahead for the bass compression. It don't gotta be a fast attack. And I'm gonna hit like around 10. And we gotta gain stage it. Gain staging is like the most important part too, because that's where you retain the volume, but now you're hearing only the effects that you're applying. So it's not making it louder or quieter, making it sound different. It's making it sound different because the compression is compressing, you know? But this is usually like the most boring part. For the EQ, I'm gonna go ahead, take out the sub frequencies and boost like around 60 hertz, because that's where I started increasing the kick sub frequencies. I'm just do like a little hump right here, because you know that space is available for the bass. What you miss, nothing too crazy. We just started cooking up this beat. Not that many layers yet, but I'm just going over how I process these drums and all these sounds. So we're on a bass right now, but yeah, we got a nice pocket of space right here because that kick drum. Let me see. As you can see, the kick drum is taking up all these sub frequencies, and then I removed a good chunk of these, you know, lower frequencies. So now the bass can take those lower frequencies, while the kick drum has those bass or sub frequencies. And they're sharing the space. But let me see what this synth sounds like. Let's go ahead and take out these frequencies for this synth, because it's like clashing with the Rhodes. And then we're gonna add some reverb. I think I'm gonna change this synth though, actually, because I ain't feeling it no more. Let me see. And then this ARP is like, since we got swinging the drums, The arpeggiator is like, it's too quantized, it's too perfect. So we're gonna have to delay it. It's like a checklist I gotta do. Oh man, I ain't got the charger plugged up. Tripping. All right, there we go. All right, let's find a better synth than this one. We could do that, and then I'm gonna stack it with some vocals. Where is the human voices? like the ARP, it's like sometimes the ARPs can be a little bit too much if they're going too fast. I feel like, but I'm still just layering stuff as well. So once I start spreading it out and arranging it, try to make a story out of it. Yeah, I'm still gonna sidechain. I'm gonna sidechain all of this stuff. Usually, what I would do, cause I just be trying to just throw layers on it, and how many tracks on a beat tape? It's gonna be 20 beats for the full beat tape. But yeah, I'm just throwing layers out, and once I have all the layers out and all that stuff, I'll make sure everything is sidechained or whatnot, cause I still want to add vocals and all that stuff and different effects and stuff. So I kind of just be all over the place. I'll think of one thing and just start doing that. But yeah, let me see. Since I don't have no compressors on the synth pads on the bus, let me get this side chain. Just put on that synth Alright, I think I can arrange it now. I'm gonna go ahead and get this drum pattern like that. And then we got like a little vocal. Vibes, appreciate that. Yeah, Blaze, 20 tracks, man. This how I'm gonna do it. I don't know if y'all been hearing the news and all that stuff, or not the news, but what people be talking about on here on YouTube with Spotify, how they raising the prices and lowering how much we get or whatever as a artist or whatever. I mean, they already be giving less than a penny per stream, which is like crazy. But yeah, so I'm gonna do like 10, like a handful of beats on Spotify, 10 tracks on Spotify, maybe some good ones, and then I'm gonna try to put like some of the heavy hitters on the direct to consumer version. So I'm gonna do my website. So I gotta add all my beats, all my beat tapes or beat albums, or whatever you want to call them, to my website, and I'm also do Bandcamp as well, just so people can have multiple ways to support if they want. And then I'm gonna probably post on Patreon, like extra beats on Patreon as well for the homies that be on Patreon. for all tiers, and then yeah, I just can't give Spotify. I can't just give it all away for free. You feel me? Still got to make a living, but it's still gonna be good music out there. Um, I wanted to get these vocals, but yeah, it's 20 tracks. This is my biggest project yet, and pretty proud of it so far. Sound good. I never really had the time or energy to put this much effort into a tape. So I'm excited for you guys to hear what I got. Vocals. Let me see. I don't know what. Let me see. I'm gonna do ad libs, hip hop. Why is there no? Oh, I put ad libs. These are definitely not the ones. It's hip hop. They have boom bap. Nah. All right. Let's see. And right here, I'm gonna do. Mic is stripping. Might be able to use that. One time. One time. Yeah, it's definitely decent. It's nothing crazy, but it's not like bad. It's just decent. That's how I would put it. I'm excited for it, bro. Hey, man, I'm excited too, dog. Like, I don't know. I felt like a lot of my other beat tapes, I didn't really like put as much emphasis on processing the sounds and making it sonically sound good. And like with this tape, like this was the first time I actually took the tape or took my tracks to the car and did speaker test with the better speakers or whatever, loud speakers, because my car actually does have subs in it. And I don't know why I haven't been doing mix checks in there, but I did a mix check for that single I released the other day, and I was like, dog, this joint is knocking. So yeah, so that's why it's like I keep learning new stuff, and it's like I can't just put y'all on some whack stuff. I want to put y'all on the actual sauce. You feel me? Let me see how this sounds. I got that idea. All right, I'm about to change this whole beat up. Oh, I like that last chord with the. Well, you see, the thing is, I make beats on headphones, so I don't have any monitors. I don't have a studio speaker or nothing like that. So the closest thing I got to a loudspeaker is my car. You feel me? Uh, I got neighbors around here and stuff, and then causing commotion. Like I'm not in the space to do speakers yet, so I gotta be subjected to these headphones. Once I hit that car, I get a good representation because not everybody is listening to beat tapes on stereo speakers, stereo monitors, or even headphones like this. So it's like it's important for me to listen on the headphones, on the computer, in the car, and on the phone speaker. So I just try to get whatever sound system I can, even my Grow car, just so I can see like what it's gonna sound like across all systems. But yeah, man, I wish I had some monitors. I'm gonna get some though. I've been thinking about moving, but we ain't here yet. We ain't there yet. But let me see. Let's, I don't know, bro. This plugin, like these jazz sounds are just crazy. Like a different synth. Different bass line. Like, I'm just adding layers and layers. So I want to add another bass line. Something like that. So I'm gonna duplicate this synth, raise up some of the subs. Alright, let me get this plug in and add more bass to it. It's not knocking hard enough. sequence this. Yeah, I don't like that one. Let me delete these. All right, now how do we want to start this? I'm gonna just duplicate all of these and then just subtract them. Make this a whole clip. Okay. Take this looper off. Then we're gonna start from this halfway point right here. Need to build up to it. Alright, so it's cool, it's flowing good. I want to add more vocals and I want to fix this "Oh My God" up. Okay, we could add some reverb to it. I like to use this play reverb. It's like my favorite reverb. I don't have a favorite preset though. And now I'm gonna go ahead and compress it. I'm gonna use this LA2A great compressor. This is a good one to use on vocals, I feel like. These sustain pedals are like not turning off. I hate when that happens. But yeah, it's turning out pretty cool. Let me see. I'm gonna just turn these speakers off and see if I can get some keys. This one. But these chords is kind of hard. The chord changes are kind of crazy. Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna finish this one up later. But I also did want to show you guys like a breakdown. I'm gonna show you guys the breakdown for that one track, or at least we go ahead and say it is. I'm gonna just name it Da for now. There's nothing sticking out. All right, there we go. My webcam had froze for a little bit, but yeah, this dodge and strike. So if you guys haven't heard this yet on YouTube, I'm gonna play it right now. But yeah, that's the track. I'm gonna break it down though. So basically, I'm gonna break the mix down. The way I got these drums to knock so hard is by using that same technique I was using on that first beat. So as you can see on the EQ for the kick drum right here, Tom's Burger. This is from Nostology, by the way, my sample pack Nostology. Crazy kicks. The kicks got some crazy sub frequencies. But what I did was I boosted the frequencies around 52 hertz, and then took out the mid frequencies, and then boosted the like 3.5k hertz range, and that kind of makes the kick sound fatter because it has more bass. It's taking out all that muddiness in the middle, and then you're boosting the higher frequency, or like the dirty part of the kick, or like the air. And people just perceive that, they'll fill in the blanks for these mids, um, which is best because you don't have to add them because they sound muddy anyways. But that's not how every kick is. But for the clap, or actually, let me see. I also added a compressor as well. So LA2A gray, and this is the signal flow. So I added the compressor after the EQ for this one, bruh. And then yeah, gain staging. I made sure the bass was mono and all that stuff, so I didn't want the bass to be stereo. Same thing. This clap is like a multi hit, so I got this clap. One of them is muted though, so it's not really multi. But You see, I'm taking out the bass from everything, claps, anything that's not a kick drum. I'm taking out the bass because all I want that bass. Only bass I want y'all to feel is the kick drum or the bass line, you know. So anything that I'm using, I just take that bass out. But let me see. On the bus, I added a filter, so I feel like taking out some of that clarity helps make the drum sound a little bit better, like a little bit more dirty. I should scare Finware. So I like to add a filter and just take out just a few frequencies, nothing crazy. This is like my favorite plugin as well. This EQP1A. Really good for adding bass and being strategic with how you add bass and all that stuff. So this is a good plugin. Let me show you like the before and after, or show you like a difference. So this is how the kick drum sounds. And then this is how it sounds with everything bypassed. But it still has everything from the master and the pre-master channels affecting it. But you get a rough idea of what is happening. This clap, same thing. Reverb, compression, and then I also added this delay on every other clap. So if you listen right here, so I just added that delay on every other clap, just to, you know, add some character to the beat, something different. It makes, you know, a little bit more pleasing to listen to. It's just different, you feel me? And then let me see. Hi-hats, I mean, you can't really do much to hi-hats besides compression, EQ, and then maybe some reverb. So that's pretty much all I did for all these other drum sounds. Then we got that vocal I'm always using, a scene from Troll 2. And we got the EQ taking out the bass, the reverb, 50% dry wet, so it's pretty that reverb is pretty atmospheric. And then let me see these Rhodes. Actually, the Rhodes didn't come until later, but this sound right here. That sound actually came from Omnisphere. And over here on Omnisphere, what I did was I went to samples because they, you know, they have samples as well, not just presets. And I got the classical soprano intervals, and yeah, you know, gave me the sauce. And that's just how the whole sample sounds. But you can get some really nice chords with it, you know. You know, real fun to play around with. But for the processing, I added an auto filter to take out the sub frequencies. I know that was lazy of me. I could have just added an EQ, but I added an auto filter. Added a LA2A compressor, just to kind of glue together that sound. And then some OTT. If y'all don't use OTT on y'all sounds, man, y'all tripping. I'm telling you, OTT is like a night and day difference. So I'm gonna turn the amount to 0%. Way more clarity. But I did have to take out the bass in that because I didn't want this. It was just too much bass, so I just took it all out on the safe side. A little bit of extra EQ in. Then I put this reverb. I believe this is a convolution reverb. And yeah, I don't think I used this auto filter, so you don't got to worry about that. Hey, what's good, Chalk? What's good? Giving a mix breakdown for this track. Let's see. All right, so that's what this sound is. So over here we got another synth from Omnisphere. I'm starting to fall in love with Omnisphere. I used to hate it, but they got some good sounds. But I did the same thing. I used a sample, and this is the Sparkling J800 Fifths A, um, and this is how it sounds. Yeah, it's been a minute, Chuck, but yeah, that's the sound right there. That's the sample, and it's pretty fire. I like that sample. It's just so pretty. I'm definitely gonna have to use that sound again. Let me make sure I saved it. Yeah, I'm tripping. I didn't even save it. But for the processing, I didn't really do much on Omnisphere. I usually just stick to what I know, and so I started off with a J37 and used mastering fat and tight, mastering fight, tight fight open, bruh, fat tight and open. There we go. And I just like the way it affects the dynamics, so that's why I added that. Some reverb, plate reverb, LA2A silver. So this is like a faster version of the LA2A, more attack speed and release speed, I believe. And then we got OTT, of course. Let me see how it sounds. Yeah. So OTT is real good for adding clarity to your sound. Of course, the EQ, take out the bass, take out the higher frequencies, take out what I don't want to be present in that sound. So I want it to have its own spot in the mix. Um, Over here, we also have a glue compressor. That's a side chain to the kick drum, of course. And let's see how hard it's hitting. So I did take out a lot of threshold and added some makeup. So yeah, you can see that meter hit is hitting all the way up to 20. So a lot of side chain with that joint. That's why it sounds so fat as well. Um, Over here we got an arpeggiator, I believe. And we sticking to what I know. We got the Poly synth and Poly Max synth. So I like the arpeggiators. I don't think I did really anything too crazy. I added a chorus on it, and that was about it. But then EQing, taking out a lot of frequencies right here. We pretty much took it all the way out to 1.8 kilohertz. We got a convolution reverb that we didn't use, a line delay just to add some swing to that arpeggiator, and then LA2A compressor, gray, just for some compression, some nice compression. We got the side chain. This one doesn't have as much threshold, so it's not as fat as the other one. We also side chained the clap to it as well, so just to kind of make some space because some arpeggiators can be kind of obnoxious. I feel like just be a little bit annoying after a while, so I try to keep it quiet. And then we got this sound. A real simple little motif, I guess you can call it, or a melody. And EQ, take out the higher frequencies. I added echo, ping pong, wide. So I really wanted it to sound really wide, bouncing back and forth. And then we got that compression, just kind of compress it. Man, this audio playback is mess with me. But Let's see what else this is. We got another Omnisphere sound right here. So this is another sample from Omnisphere. So I really didn't use too many Omnisphere presets on this beat. But Omnisphere not popping up. This is the Electric Start preset, but for some reason Omnisphere ain't coming up, so can't show you. But we got an EQ8, taking out some of those high frequencies and all the mids and lows. J37 again with the master and fat tight and open, just for the dynamics. We got the pure plate reverb and LA2A. You know, we kind of use the same effects on a lot of these sounds because it's like you can't really do too much to it. You know, then it's gonna be over processed. It's gonna sound crazy. But yeah, we got this track definitely has a lot of layers. Like, let me see, we got this Rhodes up here. So yeah, nice little melody right there. Doubled it up by the octave. So I played it in one octave and then I just copy and pasted the higher octave. You know, I'm not that good, but I don't think we used this Rhodes. Yeah, this was sound. This was muted actually, so we didn't use this sound. This little section. I don't know what this was though. Let me see. Yeah, I can see why I didn't use it. It was just a little too much. But Bassline, I'd also want to talk about the bass. So for the bass, I did two different layers for the bass. We got this sound. And then we got this second bass layer. All right, man. These solos is messing with me. But yeah, we got two different layers for the bass, and for that first one, you can see I pretty much left those sub frequencies. I took out the super low ones, but I added, you know, a little bump right here to the 100 hertz range because that's where the kick drum is not present at all. So I boosted it up right there so that bass can be a little bit more present in that section. Same with this one for the other layer, and I also added a amplifier to it, and yeah. I think that's pretty much the beat right there. So those are all the layers, and then it just pretty much came down to arranging all this stuff and figuring out how I wanted it to play out, basically. And yeah, that's the track right there. Let me see. On the master channel, or actually on the pre-master, we don't have too much on the master channel, as you can see, but on the pre-master, I'm gonna break this down. So we didn't use these compressors. We used everything else. So we used this little section right here is my like mono check and my mid side check. So I'll press this to see how everything sounds. That's mono. Everything that's mono is coming through here. So I'll toggle that and I'll see how it sounds. So it goes something like this. Let me turn it down a little bit. And pretty much with that, all I'm trying to look for is making sure that the track is pretty much comprehensible if it was mono, if it was like a completely mono stereo system, or I guess sound system. Um, I just try to make sure the beat is still understandable and not like weird sounding. And then we got the mid side check, so I get to see what sounds are going to the sides and creating that atmosphere. So as you can see, you can hear um, on that sample all that reverb that I add, that convolution reverb. You can hear the clap. You can hear that clap a lot because I added a lot of let me see, where is it at? Plate reverb right here. So I added that plate reverb, and this clap is already like pretty wide. Yeah, man, I went in on this one. This was like this beat took like 2 or 3 days to make. To you know make the patterns, get the layers, arrange it, and master it. Took about 2 to 3 days. But it was worth it. I love this track. This might be like one of my favorites on the tape. Yeah, it's just since I have more time, I feel like since I have more time, I'm able to do all that research. So same like I was doing with the piano, just watching YouTube videos, reading articles, looking at Reddit forums, looking at what people recommend to do, what are good compressors, how to use compressors, just learn the basics and kind of starting over. Because like I said on my previous beat tapes, I didn't go this in depth with mixing and mastering it and making sure that it's a sonic experience. But yeah, this is the mid side, and you can hear all the sounds that's going to the side. So let me go to like the climax, and then when I take it off, so yeah, that's how I got it to be so wide and fat sounding. And if you paid attention, you'll notice that you actually heard the kick drum when I had the mid sides activated. So let me solo the kick. Hold up. I'm gonna pause all of this and then play this one. You can oh damn. That clap is loud too, so I'm gonna mute that clap. But you can clearly hear the kick drum with the mid sides. And people say that you want your bass to be mono. Well, that's the thing. My bass is mono. The bass is mono. The only thing that's not mono is the higher frequencies. So on the kick drum, you can see I added the bass mono, and at 176 hertz is what's going. Anything below that is going to be mono. So I make sure to select that. So anything above that is going to be stereo. So now this part that I boosted up is going to be going to the sides, as you can hear. And then when I take off the that mid side, you understand why the kick drum sounds so fat. And now if I click mono, you can hear all that bass. And if I wanted to, I could have even got more in depth with that. And let me see. For example, if I was to use this EQ instead and then click mid side, I could have on a mono, I could have made it to where this higher frequency isn't even you know in the mix, only in the stereo field. So then I would go over here on the pre-master, check that. You see that it's still in the mids on the sides, but then I click mono. I barely hear it now compared to. There we go. I had to turn this one off. I forgot I was boosting on this one, but now I barely hear it. So it's just like little stuff like that, just to understand how to get the sound you want. But yeah, appreciate that, Chalk, man. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it. It's fun, so much fun. So that's usually the first thing I do. Um, and not to mention, I've at this point in the mix, so I've already arranged everything. Let me see. I've already arranged all of this stuff and I've already mixed it. So before I start affecting this pre-master and the master channel, I make sure that um, I've checked off all my checklist stuff. Because if you guys pay attention to how I make beats, it's pretty chaotic. I'm jumping in between, um, compression, and then I'll have like a random idea, and then I'll switch the whole beat. But once I do get like a track that I'm satisfied with, I make sure that it's arranged, and if I'm fully committed to it, I make sure that it's mixed. So as you can see on these lower channels, I've affected the volumes of everything pretty much, each layer, each sound, even the drums, and make sure that mix was good. Because once you get a good mix, the mastering process is way easier. I've been putting a while. Well, you see, that has a certain sound too. It's like people say you're not supposed to do that, but you can still do that. It's gonna knock, but I really wanted this track to have a stereo feel. I remember one time I was like 13, 14 years old. I was with DiBiase, and we went over to John Wayne's house. Um, if you guys ain't familiar with John Makes Beats on YouTube, John Wayne. So he had went to John Wayne house, invited me over. So I was kicking it with him and John Wayne, and John was telling me about um how to like imagine a mix, and he was just telling me to imagine it as a box, and it's like you put in certain things in certain parts of the box, and you got stuff that's on the edge of the box, and you got stuff that's in the middle, that's like directly in front of you. I feel like things that's on the side of that box are more towards the background, or more towards like to the side, or not really in your face, whereas things that's like in the middle, that's mono, are a little bit more in your face. So that's why I genuinely like to add mono to my bass, because I feel like it just makes it hit harder. It makes it more in your face. But there are beats where I've had stereo kick drums as well. But everybody got their own techniques. I've heard big producers that use stereo kick drums. It's no rules to this. You can do whatever you want. But if you think that sound good, keep doing it. But you can also try something new, and you might like that as well. But back to the pre-master. So I got everything arranged, mixed, and sounding good. So I make sure that the mono sounds good, make sure the mid sides sound good, and I usually have to put in some work on these steps to really get a clean sound. And then you said you, oh man, I think I remember that stream. Uh, the stream. Which stream are you talking about? But yeah, so now I have a reductive EQ, and this is just all in my template. So this is why I use this stupid looking template with all these channels that I don't even use half the time. Cause it's like, I don't use it every single time, but I always use these sounds whenever I do make beats, like whether it's, I use this Omnisphere patch, one beat, or I might use Rickenbacker for a bass, or I might use just something else if I'm making a sample. So this is like my favorite template that I want to add, to the public. But yeah, so this is all on my template, and I have my reductive EQ. All I did was take out some frequencies at around 212, 212 hertz, and that was about it. I feel like that's all I needed to do. And then I also have this LA2A or LA2 compressor, just a slow, using it like a glue compressor almost, because it has a slow attack and release. And then we added some more OT on the pre-master, but we added a little, like a very small amount. So we added 15% because I didn't want it to get too crazy. Because if you use OTT too much, it's not gonna sound that good. It might hurt your ears when you turn it up loud and all that stuff. And then we have another reductive EQ right here, and I took out some of the higher frequencies just because, like I said, that OTT can really add some harshness. So I just took a little bit that I felt was really bad, and that was that. So at this point in the mix, I'm not really adding bass or adding frequencies. I'm more so focused on taking out bad things that I don't need to add on these EQs. Oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, so nah, this was like different. I know what stream you talking about. We was at the what was it? I think it's like yeah, Alpha Pub Studio that Daddy Caffey mastering albums and stuff like that. It was at that studio, and John Wayne was live with D, and I was up in the cut. But yeah, man, shout out to D, man. He helped me experience a lot. But we also have this second reductive EQ, or third, I guess. I just copied this one and named it. But this is basically me just taking out resonant frequencies, which are the frequencies that hurt your ear. All right. So like if you have a mix and your cymbals are like harsh as hell, that's because you probably got some resonant frequencies that are like, it's like a cluster of frequencies, and you'll hear it. I'll show you an example in a minute. But when you take those out appropriately, because I don't want to take them all out, because sometimes I might be taking out notes from other instruments. But when you take them out, it just makes the mix sound a lot more pleasant and palatable. So this is an example of like resonant frequency. So I'm gonna turn this one up, and then I have uh, the bypasser. I forgot what this is called. The audition mode for the frequency. So check this out. I'm gonna go to like the climax. So you hear that? That's a resonant frequency. So I made sure to take that out. It was another one right here. And when I'm doing this, I'm usually doing it like this with this big screen. I want to see everything. So sometimes you can even see the resonant frequencies if you're looking hard enough and you know what to look for. I took some right here. I took some out. Let's see what this sounds like. So that wasn't really a resonant frequency, but I still took it out because with the bass, I have a kick drum where the sub frequencies are boosted a lot. I also have two different layers for bass lines. So I just wanted to take out some of that muddiness around the 100 hertz range. Wasn't really resonant, but like these really sharp ones are usually resonant frequencies. Let me see how this one sounds. Headphone users warning. So yeah, this is like a frequency that would really hurt your ears. So I just take it out. I'm not taking it out all the way. I don't have to put it all the way down for it to be gone. I just don't want to hear that resonant frequency. I just don't want my ears to not hurt. So I'm just taking it down to like a level where I feel like, okay, this is appropriate. It's not too much, not too little. Yeah, this makes it sound really, really clean as well. Because it's like when you're taking stuff out, it's like you're leaving space for other frequencies and all that stuff to hit your ears instead of boosting everything. And now it's like everything is fighting each other to get through the mix. But I topped that off with J37 matte fat tight and open stereo beat. Just like I said, I like the way it affects the dynamics. I feel like it really makes the track a lot more bouncy. So when I hit something soft, it has a certain sound, and when I hit it hard, or like for a kick or something like that, I can really feel it a lot differently, especially with the saturation. The higher it hits this meter. Let me see if I can show you with the kick drum. The higher it hits that meter, I can really tell a difference. Now, you probably can't tell right now just because I have so many effects on. It's like you want to be able to tell that subtle little difference, but that's just something that's on my template all the time, so I just left it on there. Then I also have a limiter just to make sure I'm not peaking out of this pre-master channel. But I'm not gonna peak at all because I have this limiters bus right here, which it's like it has all my limiters basically. So if I have like a bass, it's going to the sub limiter. So basically, each limiter is in control of a certain group of sounds. So like the sub limiter is in control for bass sounds. I didn't really take that too seriously though, because I could have easily um, s- sent this kick drum to that sub channel, but I was just a little lazy. It's funny that I'm saying I'm lazy when I got all this stuff going on, but yeah, I didn't really take it too serious. Um, but yeah, so it's just a lot of routing and a lot of um, little stuff that you have to add up to get these crazy mixes. On the master channel, I have the preset, the glue compressor preset, mastering, add sustain, just to glue it together a little bit. I added some attack and release, and manipulate the threshold accordingly. Over here, this is like, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm glad it's only 6 viewers in here because I don't want to give too much of the sauce away. But this is like my favorite plugin. If I only had like $50 or however much this plugin cost, I forgot. I think it was around $50. But if I only had $50, I would use. I almost said a demonetized thing, but if I only had $50, I would definitely cop this plugin because it makes the mix sound so much better. It's like you can buy a plugin and have a different kind of sampler or a different kind of compressor. But this plugin is like so many in one, and it really changes the whole atmosphere of your track. So this is the ARTG mastering chain by Waves, I believe. And yeah, I like to use the mastering bus, glue and punch. And basically with that, I go in there, I put it on, and then I go into these sections. It's like the only section that I affect. I don't really need to change too much stuff around. I might change the spreader because it does make the track sound a lot more wide. But I usually just go in here and affect the tone of the bass. So I go down to those frequencies around 32 or 45 hertz. I usually add a boost just to get a real fat bass, and I make sure the shape is on low. Um, I also take out a little bit extra muds around 256. Everybody knows around 256 is a little bit muddy, but just because everybody knows that doesn't mean you need to always take it out. But for this track, I feel like it was appropriate, so I took it out. I took out some frequencies at 1.4 kilohertz, a lot of frequencies actually, just because I feel like it was a little harsh. Yeah, let me see. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna look it up on my phone. Let's see how much this plugin is for y'all real quick. But don't cop it. If y'all cop it, you gotta I gotta send y'all the affiliate link. Yeah, it's $50. It's on Waves. It's on Waves and Sweetwater. It's like a Abbey Roads plugin, so it's it's a really good plugin. It's worth the $50. I know there's others out there that acquire plugins differently and with through different ways, but I don't want to risk it. By me being on the internet and having a little presence, I don't want, like, I don't know if you guys heard about like it was like a whole situation with Curtis King and Machine, and yeah, man, they cracked down on it. I don't think he knew it was like a issue, but they figured it out, and yeah, so I don't want them to like be like, yo, why does his license number say such and such or whatever? I ain't trying to risk it, so you know what part was, yeah, I was on this mastering chain, so that's pretty much all I do for this is just affect the tone. I don't mess with any of this stuff. I'm pretty sure I could probably get a cooler mix if I knew how to mess with the limiters and all that stuff, but I haven't practiced that yet. I'll probably do that for the next beat tape. But speaking of limiters, that's the last thing on the chain, and this is like what makes the beat loud. So when I turn this limiter off, listen to how much more quiet the beat is. Yeah, Waves has really good products. I like Waves. I'm trying to sign up for the affiliate program, but I haven't gotten an email yet, so I can do these plugin reviews and all that stuff. Yeah, so I ain't trying to risk it. But hey, if I gotta pay the $50, I'll pay it. I'll just consider it as an investment. But as you can see, when we have the limiter turned off, the mix is just a lot. It's a lot quieter. But you can see that it's still peaking. It still hits in the red, but it just doesn't sound as loud. One thing that I do for that, you know, of course, I put this limiter and boosted it up by 7 decibels, but it was a little bit more into it. So what I like to do is I like to let me see, where is the effect? Right here, envelope follower. So I like to throw this on, turn the gain down, and I get to see the envelopes, or not the envelopes, like the transients. So let me go back to that one part, bruh. So right here, you can clearly see the transients. So with that being said, I'll use one of these and grab a limiter and just try to, increase until those. It's like I don't know how to like word it. So it's like it's certain transients that you want to look for. You have the drum transients, the ones that are like really high up and really pronounced. Those are drum transients. Their sounds are a lot louder in the beginning and it gets quieter. Then you have like sustained transients. I don't know if it's actually called sustained transients, but it's like that's your synths, your keys, your bass, all the stuff that kind of lasts a lot longer. So they have different shapes. And basically, what I was trying to do was I was trying to get those sustained transients to be a little bit higher. I knew that the drums were already loud enough, so they're going to be loud. I don't have to worry about that. But the synth and all that stuff isn't loud enough. So now I'm comfortable adding this limiter because it's not going to peak if I add a limiter. I'm gonna add it until I feel like it's appropriate. So I'll just add it and just turn it up until I feel like it's appropriate. And I felt like it was good when it got to that point. So yeah, that's where I put it at. Another thing with the limiter, last thing I promise, but another thing is the release time. Look ahead and release time. I really paid attention to that because that's what made the track sound a little bit bouncier. So once the kick drum, since the kick drum is pretty much the loudest sound in the mix, the limiter is going to be affected by that kick drum first. So it's going to lower the sounds. With the release, basically, when it releases that limiting power, it's going to take 3 seconds for it to go back loud. So I can play with this release, and if I get it to like a nice section, that release is going to have almost like a side chain effect to it, like a nice little bounce to it. So I look for that bounce with the release, and it just goes like this. I'll go to like the loudest part of the track and just affect it. But yeah, I just did that until I had like a nice bounce that I was satisfied with. If I took this release down even more, it would have sounded a little bit more like distortion. So let's see.
Hey, yo.
So that's a sound that I didn't really want. So that's why I put the release at 7.5 milliseconds. Usually it's on auto. Put this yo, what's good? Hello, hello. Oh snap, let me see. Is there Is there a way to program a glide with Sense Ableton as at the end of each chord? So no, that was actually with. I think you weren't in the live at that, but that's just Omnisphere. So that's a sample on Omnisphere, classical soprano intervals. And if I press one note, it's a she plays a the singer plays a interval, and since it's a sample, I can play chords. And it can sound quite nice. But yeah, nice little sample. I love that sample patch. Let me make sure I save that. I'm a that's like a 4 star, 4 out of 5 stars. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the mix right there. Like there's nothing else behind that. Like it's literally all the secrets. There's no secrets. Feel me? That's how you get that kind of mix. Um, it takes a lot of work though. You got to commit a lot of time to it because it's a lot of steps behind it. I love it. Yeah, man. I love it too. you know, I have no choice but to love it after putting that much time into it. It's like, oh, it has to sound good. So that's pretty much the process for mastering that I've been following for this beat tape. And like I said earlier in the live, like ones with the green dots, they're pretty much done. I don't have to master them anymore. Uh, the ones with the yellow, it's like I'm not really satisfied with it. And then the ones without dots, I pretty much need to master them or like remaster them because they're already like done. But I kind of want to redo them with all this new knowledge that I have. How did I learn the keys? Any courses or lessons? Nah, no courses, no lessons. Only course that I ever bought was like this this one course from Pretty Simple Music. It was like dirty chords. He had this one video that went viral, had like millions of views, and he was playing some crazy ass chords on it. And I bought it, and that's kind of how I learned how to do this. Let me see if I can get like a Rhodes. I think this has reverb on it. Yeah. Because he was like doing infinite chords. That's what he was doing. But I kind of figured out what he was doing and kind of put my own twist on it. But yeah, that's like the only course I ever bought. Um, and yeah, man, I pretty much just practice and look up on YouTube what I want to learn. I haven't been doing too much research on YouTube just because I know all that I want to know. I don't know everything, but I know what I want to know is like nothing that I want to learn that's new. So it's pretty much right now all I'm doing is just practicing my arpeggios, practicing my scales, um, practicing my diminished scales, my tensions, my resolutions, and just trying to discover different ways to use what I already know. Because I don't want to keep learning new stuff and not be able to use what I already know. Because I'm starting to discover that it's ways for me to use that diminished scale. I can use that over dominant chords. So if I'm struggling to improvise over a dominant chord, there's like a certain diminished scale I can use. So it's like just certain little stuff like that I'm starting to learn and just get down, and incorporating it into the beats is like a lot of fun as well because I'm starting to discover like that's why I wanted to tell you guys earlier. I lost my train of thought earlier, but let me get this Rhodes sound, and I'm gonna show you these neo soul chords that y'all be or that I don't know. I feel like neo soul kind of like died down a little bit, but I'm starting to figure out like how they begin those crazy chords. So like, say if they have like a D, kind of loud. There's so many ways you could play over this D. We could play a D major. We could play a D minor. We could play a D minor 9. We could play a D major 9. Those are all cool chords, you feel me? But those aren't neo soul chords. Like those aren't chords that's gonna have you saying like, ugh, like squinting your face and all that. You know, I went to music school for 3 years, and I was a kid. They don't teach you composing or improvisation. Yeah, like as a kid, I didn't really. My parents weren't really like, they didn't have money like that. I couldn't just go to music school. I Closest thing I had to that was band class, and I feel you on that. Like they wasn't teaching you how to improvise. They was teaching me how to play a goddamn standard orchestral standard that I just was not into. You feel me? Like I want to learn how to play like some crazy chords. Um, yeah, like I wasn't really like trying to play that stuff, but classical music is kind of crazy because I've been learning a lot from classical musicians. Like before, I knew how to improvise because I didn't really know how to improvise like a few months ago. Like even now, I'm not that good. I still make mistakes. It's not the cleanest. But I just gotta practice slow, and I realized that from like watching documentaries and just like all kinds of random stuff about classical music. Because it's like, dog, if I'm being honest, I'm not saying that classical music is better than jazz music, but I think classical musicians, um, I think they play some stuff that be a little bit harder, physically harder. If you listen to some of the crazy classical music pieces that was like written by like, the Beethovens and uh, Chopin. I'll never be able to pronounce his name right, but they got some crazy sounding stuff, and it's just like I wouldn't even be able to play half of that stuff. They like polyrhythms and scales, multiple different scales in multiple hands. I'm just like, yo, yeah, I ain't doing that. So I did a lot of research on that, and that's kind of like what helped me discover that whenever you're improvising, it's not really. It's like, yeah, you playing it off the top of your head, but it's like it's stuff that you've already remembered, that you've practiced already. I'm not about to just put my hand on the keyboard and just randomly play something that randomly sounds good. I still gotta think about it. Like I still have to think about the fact that this is a A major scale, so it's only a few notes that I can play. So the best way for me to figure out what notes to play is to have certain shapes. So I have certain shapes that I play, but I won't go into that because I already went into it on Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, you already know. You should know what I'm talking about. You got the right tier. Chopin. I'm from Poland, actually. LOL. Yeah, hey, that's what's up. I'm gonna have to visit Poland because I've been wanting to travel a lot. You know, since I'm kind of working remotely, I guess. Have some content for you guys, making beats in Brazil, making flipping some Brazilian samples in Brazil. That would be hard. But yeah, man, I just got sidetracked again. With the neo soul chords. Say if I got this D, I could play so many things over D, but I feel like what neo soul artists do. Hold up, cause Fenrir hopped off. The homie Fenrir, I'm gonna go put him in his tank real quick. All right. With these neo soul chords, I feel like the best chords to use, um, it's really no best chord to use, but it's like when you start stacking chords, kind of like with a beat. When you layer a beat, just like that beat I just showed you guys, like I added a lot of layers. You could do the same thing with a chord. Um, you could do that with the extensions. So say we had a D minor 9. Adding the ninth scale degree makes it sound better. If you add the 11th, or you can add like the 13th, so on and so forth. But it's like you can only do that so much and have different voicings. So one chord that I feel like really sounds good is sus chords. So that's why I'm always playing sus chords. And as you see, I'm still on D, but now I'm playing a C major 7 in my right hand, making it a sus chord. I have a 32 key MIDI keyboard. Is that enough to make beats, or should I? No, that's definitely enough to make beats. Let me see. Yeah, that'll be enough to make beats. You can definitely get some chords out with that, and some but I'm doing all that stuff all within one register. You feel me? But starting off, that's definitely good. If you want to get you know real serious into playing piano, I would say get a bigger piano if you actually want to play, just so you can have access to all those notes. But if you just want to make beats, oh yeah, 32 keys is cool. But back to the sus chords. I feel like these chords are really good for neo soul, and I can really like get crazy with this. So I could play that D, and I could play a C major. Let me play it up higher. Now look at how many more notes I can play and add on to each other. I'm doubling up on some notes, but I'm playing it in different registers, so it kind of sounds different. I can also do something like turn that C major into something like a diminished chord. Then, or I can play a no, not a C minor, A minor. And that's just stuff that I learned about the chord. You feel me? Because it's like, all right, so I know I can play this D. Um, what can I do with this chord? Like, I know that this is a major chord. What can I do to a major chord to make that sound cool? So I already know I can make a major chord sound different by playing a diminished chord, and then I know I can also do something like lower the third, making a minor third. So it'll be a C minor major 7. So I can do all these techniques while having my hand on that D. Oh, I messed up. So let me see. And then once I learn all that stuff, it's like I can learn the scales to that stuff too. So there's a scale for the C minor major 7. You know, I don't practice that much, but if I learn that scale, it's like okay, whenever I play that, I can play a C minor major chord, or I can even use the C minor major 7 skill to improvise over a certain dominant chord. So it's like, damn, it just gets way crazier, and it's like it's loopholes into it. So it's like once you learn the basics, then you can really start building on to the basics. You feel me? Because that's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is manipulating this major chord with a D at the bottom instead of a C for the root note. And then you could just really stretch the chord out. So I can do something like that's a sus chord. This is like a sus chord as well. I'm playing the A, and then I'm playing the major chord a whole step below, and I'm playing the triad, double up on the root note for that major chord. And that's a sus chord right there. Like that's how I get my sound, by using sus chords. I'm not saying that the sus chord sound is my sound, but I get my sound by using sus chords in certain parts. You feel me? Because there are times where I use minor chords. Like that chord's a minor chord. That chord is I don't know what this chord is, to be honest. I think it's a dominant chord. And then that's the sus chord. So since I have that sus chord sound just ingrained in my head, I kind of know when I can throw it in, when I can, throw it out. Um, on top of that, you got the knowledge of intervals. Like I said, I use intervals. That's pretty much how I make my beats. I think of a good interval that sounds good. You got the basic whole step interval. And when I say intervals, I'm talking about the bass notes, okay? So when I'm thinking of a progression, I'm thinking of the bass first, because the bass, I can't really make that sound crazy by adding extra chords. Like it has to sound good by itself. So, the intervals of, so that's just like a basic whole step interval. And, I'm adding chromaticism to it just to make it sound good. And I can take that and just make a chord progression from that. Let me see, hold up. So yeah, basic interval, and then I can add a progression to it like a 2-5-1. So this is a B flat minor 9, I believe, going to a C minor 9. Okay, so we go into a C minor, so I can do a 2-5-1 to that C minor. So I'm not really playing it like super saucy, but I messed up. But I could throw that 2-5-1 in every once in a while. I can do like a chromatic increase, so that's chromaticism right there. Just not skipping a note, playing it chromatically. I can also come in from like a whole step below, so I can play. So that's one. Another one, I can come in from a whole step above. So say if I'm targeting that minor chord, I can say. I can't really come in from a whole step above because this C is already a whole step above it. But yeah, you also have the minor third. So I can say if I'm soloing over this D sus, D13 sus. I could do stuff with the C major chord. Just playing with that C major scale. I could play the extensions of the C major. Oh, I messed up. I can also play the relative minor to that C major chord, which is A minor. That does change the chord though from a D13 sus to a D dominant 9 sus 4. I believe it's like it starts getting weird because it's like you stacking so many chords on top of each other and cracking the theory. So yeah, so it's just so many ways that you can get into it. And if you just look A minor, C major, E minor, all relatives to that major chord, that C major. And I'm just adding, sauce to it and all that stuff. And then we can also do, like I said, the minor thirds. Minor thirds are good if you're improvising. And you kind of want to like stretch away from that key. So that's like a good way to like get out of it is go up a minor third or go down a minor third. A good way for the what you call it? Building bridges, major thirds. So wait, what am I playing? So yeah, so we had that D minor to E minor. So once we go to that E minor, that's when we'll do that bridge because bridges happen at the end of a bar. So we can do something. So how did I know that was going to sound good? Using the major third. So we at that E. That's the E. If we go up a major third, or actually, hold on. How did I get that? That's actually not a major third. I played it wrong. What is that interval? Damn, what is this? Is that a tritone? I believe that's a tritone. So I actually gave the wrong example. So yeah, bridges are good for major thirds are good for bridges. So let me give you the right example. So that's the D minor, that's the E minor. If I go down by a major third, which is basically skipping 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, that's a major third. So I can say. You hear that? And that's kind of how I get like my ideas. It's kind of like I'm sampling my brain. I'll just throw the chops around. I just think of the chops as chords. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I know this chord pattern might sound good, or I throw it out. I even accidentally just played something. And then you can take that knowledge. Oh man, I got you. I got you. Hey, what's good? What's good, man? It's been a minute, Shanks. Then you can take that theory, that knowledge, and apply it to jazz standards and all that stuff. So I think after I'm done with this tape, I'm gonna focus a lot on content on YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, all that stuff, and making a master class and stuff. So I'm not gonna be making as much music as I'm making right now, but I am gonna be practicing a lot more because I'll probably make a sample pack sometime, um, like a really big pack. So I'm just get way better with the keys. And yeah, what VST am I using? This is not Rhodes V8, but this is actually Contact 7, Scarby Mark 1. I love this plugin. Sounds really good. And then I also added snare buzz to it. Oh my god, my computer's tripping. There we go. Snare buzz just to get that, it's like we got this drum set in the studio. Yeah, Blaze. I'm gonna have a master class. I'm gonna do an Ableton master class. So I feel like I've learned a lot uh, with Ableton, not just with music theory and all that stuff, but this past year, 2024, I've learned a lot about Ableton and how to navigate it and get the most out of it. For example, this template. Damn, I almost pretty much hit you on the face. Let me switch the screen. Yeah, like this template, dog. Like template is kind of crazy. I stole this from another YouTuber, but I'm gonna change it, make my own, and explain it. And yeah, just do a master class. Tell you guys tricks, tips, basics. I don't. I want. I'm trying to decide how in depth I want the master class to be on Ableton. Like, do I want to do a episode for each effect? You feel me? Because like it's good to know how every effect works, but not everybody use every effect. I don't use every effect. You feel me? But yeah, I don't know how in depth I want it to go, but I definitely want to cover the basics, how to make a beat, all that, you know, easy stuff, and then get into like the more technical stuff, like I was talking about earlier, like routing your sounds. But I feel like at that point, it's not really a master class on Ableton. It's more so a master class on mixing and like routing and signal flows and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'll figure that out. I'll probably do some research and see what these other classes looking like and what they priced at, and just try something new. You feel me? But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this stream. This was a little bit of a longer stream. We getting ready for that B tape. If you guys don't know, we do got a tape on the way. It's called Damaged Goods. Let me get the picture. This is how the artwork look. So if you see this artwork, unorganized. But this is the artwork. I got these charts I'll be looking at. This is the artwork. Yeah, it's called Damaged Goods. I'm gonna do about 20 tracks. Not about. I'm gonna do 20 tracks. As of now, I have 19 in the batch. About 10 or 9 or 10 of them are completely done. Another 9 or 10 are like, kind of done. Not really. Not to my T. But yeah, man. July 19th, Friday. I'm gonna release it on Spotify. I'll probably release about 10 beats on Spotify for free. 10 beats on YouTube, 10 beats on SoundCloud, and then I'm gonna upload the full 20 on Bandcamp, full 20 on my website, and probably upload like some hand-picked favorites on the Patreon, just so they can get some free beats. You feel me? For the homies that be supporting me and all that. But yeah, man, it's gonna be like $10 on the website, nothing crazy. Probably cheaper than that. I'm not too sure, but I ain't trying to charge an arm and a leg. Just trying to make a little money from the music. Cause Spotify, dog, Spotify is like cheating us, dog. Like it's useful for growing, but it's not useful for making money. You know. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to do is make money from our craft, make money for the work that we put into, what we doing. So why not try to do it like how they used to do it back in the day? Like back in the day, they used to sell CDs, sell records, vinyls, uh, cassette tapes, all that stuff. And like nowadays, like we just don't. You feel me? Like the culture just ain't the same no more. But I guess that's time. You feel me? History always repeats itself though. So people gonna come back around to the CDs, to the vinyls. They already do, anyways. But yeah, man, that's the beat tape. Some old beats on here, some new beats, some beats y'all never heard, and yeah, dog. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this stream. I had a good stream. This was a really good stream. I appreciate all you guys for coming through, vibing out. Um, Thank you for the people that's gonna watch the stream later when it's on the page. Yeah, man, that's gonna do it. But I'm gonna get out of here. Probably head to the skate park. To be honest, it's been a cool minute.